Hello students. Today we are starting up with moving charges and magnetism. Now when we talk of moving charges and magnetism, then it becomes very important that you should be very confident with the previous chapter that we had done. And what were the two chapters? Electrostatics and electricity. Okay, so we are starting into we are entering into another chapter, very important, very interesting, and this is one of the chapter that has easier life, because if you are having a fan, contribution is for this chapter. If you are able to sit in your AC, then this is chapter. So all electric gadgets here which has made your life so hassle free, it's we owe much to this chapter. Okay, so what this chapter is and what we are going to do with it. So we start with Bach-Savage's law, moving charges and magnetism. But before we start with Bach-Savage's law, let us just know what exactly we are going to do today. Oersted, one of the scientists, he had carried out an experiment in his lab, and he concluded that if we take a wire and the wire is carrying a charge, it means if there is a wire which is carrying a current through it, then it creates a magnetic field around it. Okay, that becomes very important. So it is creating a magnetic field around it. So here, if we take a wire and we find that it is carrying current, it is creating a magnetic field. Now, two scientists, French scientists, Bach and Savage, that is what we are going to do today. They worked on this area, that is the electromagnetism, and they tried to find out an equation, a condition that is being done with experimentally, so that he could give a relation to find out the magnetic field due to this current carrying wire. So that is a significance. That is what we are going to discuss today, and we will see the magnitude of this magnetic field is depending upon what factors and how it is depending. So let us start with the class on Bach-Savage's law. So we are doing with Bach-Savage's law. So when you do with Bach-Savage law, what exactly you require? You require a wire which carries a current, and since it is carrying a current, let us give the direction of the current. The direction of the current has to be given mandatory. This becomes very important. So it is carrying current in the upward direction. So if we take a very small part of it, if we take a very small elementary part, DL part of this wire, we have taken a very small elementary part of this wire, that is DL. Then if P is the observation point and this is at a distance r from this elementary portion, making an angle theta. Since the distance is very small, so you could make an angle theta, and let us assume this is P is the point. So what exactly was noticed, that the small magnetic field which is being given by this elementary current element DL is given by certain factors, and that is we are going to find out. First we are going to do with the magnitude, and then we'll put it in the vector form. But then again, one thing very important, the direction. The direction we'll discuss it little late, but before that let us what Bach-Savage observed, that dB is the small magnetic field due to this elementary length. He saw that it is directly proportional to I, that is the current flowing through the wire. dB is directly proportional to dl. What is dl? Small elementary length of the wire, dB is directly proportional to sine of the theta. Theta is this angle which has been shown in the figure, and dB is inversely proportional to the square of the distance from here to this observation point, where the magnetic field is to be determined. So this is what, if we take, that is the small amount of magnetic field is directly proportional to the current flowing through the wire. It is directly proportional to the elementary length, small elementary length that we have considered. It is directly proportional to sine of the angle theta, and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance from here to the elementary length to the point P. So if we combine all the relations, we get dB proportional to I dl sine theta by r square. What we are getting up? We are getting dB equals to mu 0, ideal sine theta by r square. And we all know that when in physics, when we remove the proportionality sign, we have to put some constant. Here we are going to put the constant, and the constant is mu 0 by 4 pi. Let us substitute. So when we remove this proportionality sign, we get dB as equals to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sine theta by r square. Now what is mu 0? Mu 0 is the permeability of free space. And this is given as 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. This is the value of the mu 0 value in SI unit. And this unit is given as equals to, you can very well write the dimensional formula of mu 0 as equals to ml t to the power minus 2 a to the power minus 2. This is the dimensional formula. This is in SI unit. Okay, so what exactly here? Mu 0 is the permeability of free space, and this value is given as mu 0 by equals to 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. It simply means the value of this whole is given as 10 to the power minus 7 in SI units, and that is the dimensional formula for the mu naught. Now if I want to write this equation in the vector form, how can I write? Let us see how we can write. So let us write this in the vector form. So this becomes dB vector mu 0 by 4 pi constant, nothing doing with it. This is I. Okay, and here what we are, let us assume we'll write dl r sine theta divided by r cube, because r square is given. So this is mu 0 by 4 pi I dl vector cross r vector. This is here we will write dB vector divided by r cube. So we have got this relation in the vector form. dB vector is mu 0 by 4 pi I dl vector cross r vector by r cube, because dl vector cross r vector will give dl r sine theta, and the direction of this generally we give it as cross, because the direction of this, it is in the plane and it is perpendicular. If I take this, it is perpendicular into the plane of the boat, and if I consider this point this side, then it is perpendicularly coming out. So this is the direction when it is going perpendicular into the plane of this, and here it is coming up. That is the direction has been shown as the cross, and if I take this point P here, we can show it by dot. Okay, so this is how, when we will be doing with the numerical problems, we have to be very specific about the directions, because it will help us to understand, and if we are not specific with the direction, then there is lots of problems. Now what other information we can get from this? So if you substitute the value of, if I want to establish the relation between epsilon 0 and mu naught. What is epsilon 0? You all know permittivity of free space. Then they are related, the epsilon 0 is related with mu naught by the formula or by the equation. You see the speed of light, and mu naught is equals to 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. I take SI unit, I am not writing the unit. Epsilon 0 is 1 by 4 pi. Epsilon 0 generally we take 1 by 4 pi. Epsilon 0 generally we take 9 into 10 to the power 9. We again take it in SI unit. To substitute all the value and calculate, we get C equals to under root 1 by mu naught epsilon. This is another very important relation, and this relation is a bridge. It's because C is the speed of light. Think of this. Think of this. We are talking about the charge. When we talk about the charge, epsilon 0 is with us. When we talk about the magnetic things, magnetic fields created just because of this current element, then we have got mu naught with us, and C is the speed of light. So we have got three things. We have got C, speed of light, we have got mu naught, epsilon naught, and they, if we combine together, the speed of light is given by 1 by under root mu naught epsilon naught. So this is something very important relation. Try to understand the depth of this relation. And there is something given, how will you compare the Bad-Savage law with the Coulomb's law? If you remember, the Coulomb's law we can find out the electric field. Okay, but there both of them are following the inverse square law, because here there also it is 1 by r square, here it is 1 by r square. But what are the differences between the two? The two, here we are depending upon the angle, there we were not depending upon the angle. So there are certain differences. You see the formula, do it yourself and find that it's easy to do. Hope you have understood this class. Thank you for watching.